the police launched this very surprise, a massive crackdown on Saturday, and there were a lot of force all over Punjab, and they arrested 78 people associated with Waris Punjab, the WPD, but somehow they could not get hold of Amritpal Singh. Amritpal Singh still remains elusive.
On March 18, the Punjab Police detained 6 associates of Amritpal Singh. Singh, a radical Sikh self-styled preacher, is currently on the run from law enforcement authorities. The Ministry of Home Affairs on March 20 asked the chiefs of the Border Security Force and the Sashastra Seema Bal to be alert in the border areas. The MHA feels that there is a possibility that Waris Punjab de Chief Amritpal Singh Sandhu might cross over the international border in Punjab or via the India-Nepal border. Amritpal Singh first gained traction on social media during the farmer stir against the now repealed farm laws. He built his popularity on social media with his aggressive speeches against regional and national political parties. So, in light of recent events, Manraj Grewal Sharma, resident editor at the Chandigarh bureau of the Indian Express, explains who Amritpal Singh is and what led to his rise.
So, Amritpal Singh is one name which I think everybody knows, everybody in India knows by now. So, he's a self-styled Sikh preacher and he is 30 years old. And he was in Dubai until very recently. So he came down to Punjab only last year, sometime in August. And then he took over an outfit called Waris Punjab. So Waris Punjab is an outfit which was formed by Deep Sidhu. Deep Sidhu, he rose to fame during the Kisan agitation. He was a lawyer turned actor, spoke a lot of English, spoke to youngsters, he kind of related with youngsters, and even though the Kisan Jathebandis, the organizations, the Sanyukt Kisan Morcha did not have much to do with him, he kind of supported them. So after he died, and I believe Amritpal Singh, who was then in Dubai, was in touch with him ever since the Kisan agitation, and they got in touch with each other only through social media. And there are people who say that they never really met in person. So when you ask about the rise of this phenomenon called Amritpal Singh, so you have to go back and you have to figure out what is the appeal, what is his appeal and what is he actually articulating. So there are 3 prongs to his argument. One is, he came to Punjab at a time when drug addiction, regardless of the change in government, but the drug issue hasn't gone away. In fact, younger and more younger children are taking to drugs. So one prong of Amritpal Singh, when he took over Waris Punjab he was probably properly coronated. There's a ceremony called the Star Bandi in last September 2022. So he said, I will do away with drugs. So that message kind of resonated across Punjab, at least in villages, because drugs is a major issue. So it destroys households, it destroys many a young life. The second was that he said the youngsters in Punjab must return to Sikhi, the Sikh religion, meaning that you need to get baptized, because once you get baptized, you automatically are prohibited from taking either liquor or any form of intoxicant. So his argument he made is that if you get baptized, if you go back to the pure form of Sikhism, you will automatically be weaned away from drugs. And the third thing, which is very strange, the third part of his narrative, and all of it went together, was that Sikhs have been persecuted by every successive government in India, and they have faced persecution for a very long time, and the only way they can get equal rights, that is what he argued, is by having a separate state. So although when you would listen to him, he had no idea of how that is going to happen, and he would not answer many questions related to this, but he kind of peddled this narrative. You know, in Punjabi there's a word called takka. Takka is an excess, so injustice. So his narrative was, in speech after speech, and he spoke fluently both in English and Punjabi, he would tell people that, you know, kaum matlab community के साथ बड़ा धक्का हुआ है, and we need to get justice. So that was one. So all of this, it wasn't as if he got a huge outpouring of support. In fact, when we visited his village, Jallupur Khera, we realized, and villagers told us, and we saw for our own selves, that most of the people who were there in his dera, because Jallupur has several gurdwaras and they relate to different communities. So his community is Khera. So Kheras have their own gurdwara. So people who had come there were people with the drug issue who wanted to get reformed. So basically it was a drug rehabilitation center of sorts, and he claimed that you come to me and I will cure you of, I will wean you away from drugs. And that was quite a big draw for parents cutting across religious lines. So we saw people from, it was not just people from the Sikh community who were coming to him, there were drug addicts from the other communities as well who were there. And the whole idea was that if we come there, he will give us, and we were told that there is a proper method to this whole madness, that, you know, method to this rehab, that there is, you are given some Ayurvedic medicines. Then there was a gentleman who told us that I make them do yoga and some asanas. And then eventually many of them said that we have also taken Amrit meaning we have become baptized, and it has all happened because of him. So you see, his rise has been very meteoric because of two reasons. Because he came to limelight in September. So in September, during his first function, where he kind of made himself the Waris Punjab, the chief, he gave this speech with all these three issues, and after that he remained very active on the social media. So what we found is a large part of his following is not from physical or one-on-one contact, or not from rallies, but from his social media posts. So he's been very active on social media much before he came to India, and a lot of people we came in contact with told us that they became his friends in the virtual world before actually meeting him in person here. So that is that. One thing. That is the framework within which he was trying to woo people. But why the ground also was ripe for somebody like him is because Punjab is seeing this huge political vacuum. You see, Akali Dal, when it came to Panthic voices, Shiromani Akali Dal gave a platform for moderate Panthic voices. I mean, Akali Dal has never made any bones about the fact that it represents the Panth and the Punjabis. So it was Punjab and Punjabiyat. So Akali Dal was almost decimated in the last elections, and they could get only 3 seats out of 117. I'm talking of a party which until 5-6 years ago had 2 successive wins over Punjab. So it had formed the government 2 successive times, which was unprecedented. And then there are those more radical voices such as Shiromani Akali Dal Amritsar, which is headed by the present MP from Sangrur, Simranjeet Singh Mann. So his is also a radical voice, but he is considered a spent force. And there were other fringe outfits as well who gave space to these kind of immoderate voices, but they had also become sort of delegitimized. So when it came to people in search of a Sikh identity, there wasn't really anyone pandering to them. And AAP MLAs, although AAP got this overwhelming support, they got 92 of the 117 seats, which is huge. But most of their MLAs are not very well known. I mean, AAP came to power because people wanted a change, and so the MLAs weren't really these seasoned politicians who could address people, who were very articulate, who were very dynamic. And here came this man who kind of said, I will show you the way. So a lot of youngsters who are educated are not drawn to him because they feel they have a future abroad. They want to go for higher studies, or they want to immigrate to Canada or other countries, and they are very much wary of any force or any person who could get them into trouble with the police. So they stayed away. But then there are also a lot of people who are not educated, lot of youngsters who don't have a bright future, who don't see a future, who are struggling to make a name for themselves, who are struggling for an identity. So here was this man who said, I will not only make sure that you stay away from drugs, which appeal to their families, I will also give you an aim, a purpose in life, that there is something larger than you that you're working for. So those kind of people gravitated towards him. When we went to Jallupur Khera, his village, we found that many of his people who had also taken part in the Ajnala storming of police station were reformed addicts. So this was something very new. We had never seen this before. As for the situation in Punjab now, so Amritpal, the police launched this very surprise, a massive crackdown on Saturday, and there were a lot of force all over Punjab, and they arrested 78 people associated with Waris Punjab, the WPD, but somehow they could not get hold of Amritpal Singh. Amritpal Singh still remains elusive. The situation in Punjab is all right. Though the internet has been suspended, there is no violence on the streets. It's all peaceful, it's all quiet. There were a couple of places where some supporters of Amritpal Singh came and sat on dharna on the roads. They blocked the roads. But at most of the places, the police managed to persuade them to leave. In Mohali, of course, we have this morcha going on in favor of the release of political prisoners of Punjab. So they have been camping on a road since Saturday evening. So that's, I guess, the largest protest the state has seen in support of Amritpal Singh. Otherwise, it's business as usual in the state. Did the AAP government act too late? You see, when Amritpal stormed the Ajnala police station with his followers to free one person who he said had been illegally arrested, there was outrage because he was taking on the state. You don't do this. You don't storm up into a police station, and the police capitulated very fast. The SSP was on record saying ki yes, we haven't really found much against this person who they had arrested, and they agreed to release him. So this man, Amritpal, came out looking like a hero because, he could actually storm a police station and get a person freed, which was amazing, which was also unprecedented in the state. The state has seen very hard times, as very challenging times, especially during the militancy, but nobody actually dared to storm a police station. So there's been a lot of anger about the police not reacting to the situation. So although we are told now that the very next day, this incident happened on 23rd February, and the police are telling us now that the very next day they registered an FIR, and all these 78 people who were picked up on Saturday, they were in relation because of that FIR, where they found, they identified the people who had taken part in entering the police station, who had forcibly entered the police station, and they took action against it. So that time the police defended themselves, defended their inaction by saying that Amritpal Singh brought with him the holy Guru Granth Sahib, and they did not take any action because they did not want to do any damage to Guru Granth Sahib, who is considered a living god amongst the Sikhs, by the Sikhs. So fair enough. And they tried, I mean, we were told that this was all part of the larger strategy, because a lot of people in the community were very angry, were furious with Amritpal for taking Guru Granth Sahib with him on a protest, because they said he's using the holy book as his shield, and this is not done. That's a very cowardly action. Now, in the latest instance of Saturday, they reportedly gave chase to Amritpal's cavalcade, and you had videos of people, of his driver, saying that we are being chased. So, urging people to gather somewhere in support. So Amritpal has always been saying that, I am open to being arrested. I am not scared of anyone, least of all the authorities. And here is a man who addressed the media from within the Ajnala police station. So people kind of believed him. But this operation saw him running. Right now, we are told that he's in hiding. That's what we are told by police. That's the official version. So that also, we are told that is kind of diluted his image of this leader, of this young fiery preacher who's not scared of anyone, because it shows that he was actually scared of the police, and he turned tail and ran when he realized that police are going to arrest him. So yes, there is a school of thought that Amritpal Singh, in fact, people had been despairing, had been questioning for long this inaction. Because, we come across cases where people have been picked up for very little. For somebody writes a slogan on the wall in favor of Khalistan, and he's picked up by the police. And here was this man going everywhere and urging the youngsters that, it's time to pick up the weapons. Also, you cannot brandish a weapon in Punjab. And he and his followers were openly carrying weapons. Even if it's licensed, I don't think you can you can take them to public or make a public display of them, which is what they were doing. So yes, there was a feeling that the government should have acted much earlier, whereas the government logic is that we took our time to act against him because we did not want to make a hero out of him. So, which is why they say they took their time to get their act together. We are told this operation, it's not a Punjab government operation alone, but the Chief Minister Bhagwant Singh Mann met the Home Minister Amit Shah in the beginning of March. It is when they decided on their strategy to take on Amritpal and all that he represents. So, which is why 4 people who were arrested with him, they were taken, not arrested with him, 4 of his aides have been flown down to Dibrugarh in Assam, and they are being kept in the central jail Dibrugarh. And we are told that now Centre has also alerted BSF at the border so to ensure that Amritpal doesn't escape to, say, Nepal